Coming to you live from Philly Cam. His life was based on a true story. He is the real thing, Mr. Natural himself. You are watching High Noon with Alex LeGrand.
All right, welcome to the show. Episode 1, to be in fact. I'm your host, Alex LeGrand. This time we're in the big studio with the good equipment. Thank the Lord. I can't tell you how long I've wanted my own talk show. Well, not that long, really. I pitched the show to Philly Cam in October on a whim, and they said yes. And I was like, damn, now I gotta make a show. I ain't never produced a talk show. I didn't even learn that in school yet. Well, and yet, here it is. It's a work in progress, but I hope you'll like it. Now, we're filming this in mid-December, so recently Time Magazine named Donald Trump as their 2016 Person of the Year. I could just see someone asking him, so Mr. Trump, what's your reaction to be named Person of the Year? It's fantastic. Believe me, it's great. Trust me. Some of my favorite people have been Time Person of the Year. Adolf Hitler, Rudy Giuliani, Vladimir Putin. It's huge. Spell with me. H-U-G, huge. All right, well, Rogue One came out today. Well, if you're watching this in 2017, it was 2 weeks ago, I guess. Well, I bet it was huge. Well, and in other news, HGTV show Flip or Flop made the news. Like that ever happens, new world, I guess. All right, let's start the show. First two guests are two producers currently filming a documentary about an all-minority girls robotic team from George Carver High School here in Philadelphia. Here they are, Deirdre McCullagh and Carmen Cruz. Ladies, how are you?
Good, thanks.
All right. I'm doing great, actually. A little sweating a little bit, but it's a little humid here, but I'm fine. All right, so I just want people to get a sense of who you two ladies are. So I guess we can start with you, Deirdre. Sure. So who are you and what do you do currently?
So, Deirdre, my role in this as a producer, I kind of have been wanting to do a documentary about minority women in STEM for a long time.
Okay.
I was researching online and kind of came across the GearGirls, which are called, which is the title of our documentary, and reached out to the high school there, and they were all for it. Got the Philadelphia School District on board, got the girls excited, and kind of brought in really talented people around me. So yeah, like I've been doing film for a while, both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. So this role I'm just taking is purely producing role.
All right, great. Carmen?
I actually worked with Deirdre on two other projects that she produced, and I was talent, and they were phenomenal. I went back and worked on another project with her, and when I saw that she was doing a documentary on the GearGirls, I reached out to her to do voiceover, because I do voiceover also professionally.
Okay.
And she saw enough talent in me from previous work to take a more pivotal role. And as an extension of her, I am also a producer for the documentary.
Great. So what sparked your interest, Deirdre, to start GearGirls, a documentary?
So it was really the research that I did, the disparity amongst young women of color, or African American women going into the STEM fields. For example,
what are STEMs?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
The STEM fields. So in the last 40 years, the amount of white males that have graduated with an advanced degree in physics is around 30,000. Can you guess the amount of African American women?
I'll guess less.
70.
Where's like a reaction
Yeah.
phase? So what?
And that's only a small amount.
Yeah, that's a small amount.
That we've come across.
Wow. So I would I would say, why research the topic at all? Like, what connection do you have? Or I would say, how did the idea was planted in your brain? Like, were you thinking, I just want to make a documentary off of anything? Like, should I just start filming stuff? So I was saying, like, how did this come to fruition?
Well, one of the really big reasons was the film Hidden Figures. That's coming out in January.
Oh yeah, with Taraji P. Henson in it.
And that, there's just so many untold stories about these women, like the young women we're following.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do, like tell
And
the
that's
untold stories.
But I've always wanted to do a documentary, and I've been mentors for Boys and Girls Club and like that type of stuff. So I've always been involved like in mentoring young teenage girls as well. But I think these girls are so bright and so passionate about what they do. They've made it to nationals last year in their robotics competition. So their story needs to be told. I think they can inspire the next generation, honestly.
Okay, so what was your connection to the George Carver High School? Did you, like you mentioned, like you researched them. Did you know about them beforehand, or like was research your purely introduction to them?
No.
All right.
I knew nothing. I didn't even know where it was.
All right, so how did you get connected with them? Like, did you call them up, email, shoot them? So how did that relationship
I just
start?
emailed them. Like, I found the person who ran the club and just sent him an email and said, "This is what I'm interested in doing. Would you be interested in being part of this? And can you ask the girls?" And he did, and we met with the principal and we submitted our, our purpose of work to the school district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So I saw the clip that you sent me on the email. It was a little short clip. I'm pretty sure they've been playing it over our conversation. So I was watching it, and these girls are like making elaborate robots and stuff. Like I'm like in high school, I was lucky if I just passed chemistry. So I'm saying like, because I looked it up, that they are a magnet school. So like they have, so it's like an engineering and science school. So like, what was it like watching them like make their robots and stuff?
It was awesome. They actually last year made it to regional and placed second. And they designed a prosthetic arm that can maneuver underwater. So these girls are phenomenal. And just to be in their company and watching them in their after-school robotics club work was definitely a grand treat for us. And I took it personally as my responsibility as an African-American woman to instill what little bit of influence or ignite their passion as much as I can, also being a former educator. And so I really wanted to, show my support.
Okay, because like I was really impressed by it because I looked it up. Like there was a sea perch competition,
Yes.
and that it's like underwater robotics. 'Cause the video you showed me it's just robots on land, and then I'm finding out they can do underwater robots.
Yes.
Like, do they like do drones as well? Like, is there anything these girls can't do?
There
I'm sure
is,
if we gave them a drone, they could probably
they could do a drone because each of them, even though they're working on something collectively as a team, the GearGirls, they also have individual projects that they're very much interested in. And Deirdre has been very instrumental in, connecting them with mentors. And I actually reached out to another physics or chemist friend of mine, and she came in and gave them a great session, communication session, and that was inspiring to them as well.
So how did the GearGirls name start? Like you mentioned, like that was their name beforehand.
Yeah.
Was there any history to how that started?
Actually, they had, they belonged to other clubs within the particular school that they attend, and they were integrated male and female. And so they kind of wanted to start something that was all girls.
All right.
And they wanted it to be something outside of the norm, like scrapbooking or whatever,
I get it.
jewelry making. And they had a passion for science and engineering, technology and math. And so these few girls found other girls that had similar interests and started a club.
That's very interesting. So how was the filming of this documentary going? Like, are you guys like finding out new things about robots you didn't know? Are there like any challenges you faced trying to make it? So how's the process going for filming it?
So we started in September, so it's relatively new, I would say still. It really picks up in January, they start competing. So we can keep you posted on challenges.
Totally.
But it's been fairly, knock on wood. But,
and we're following them.
Bless
Yeah, we're following them all year.
Okay.
So
through their home life and everything. I mean, these girls take 3 modes of transportation to get to school, an hour and a half each way.
Wow.
So we're following their daily life as well as we want the audience to connect with them on that level, not only.
So you guys are getting the full
smart.
picture and stuff.
Right.
And then having the experts in the field
to reach out.
as well, like dispersed throughout the documentary.
All right. Well, I'm sure it's I'm sure it's going to be great. So you guys are filming until June, right?
Yes.
All right. And when do you plan to do you have a planned release date or anything? Or
it's going to be a feature, so it might take a little bit to edit.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we're actually a traveling production team because some of the pioneers within the STEM field are in other states, and we're traveling to interview them. And so we're going to incorporate that, but we didn't want it to be a one-dimensional documentary just about the girls on the school grounds in their club. We wanted to bring the viewers into their lives outside of school, and we wanted to incorporate STEM pioneers so that they could inspire the girls as well.
All right, well, very fascinating. I look forward to seeing the final product. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
So right now, we are going to be sending it to the type band. Take it away.
Thanks for tuning in to High Noon with Alex LeGrand. We'll be right back after this video.
And we are back. My next guest is a personal friend of mine. He's a fellow film student, stand-up comedian. He's a Southern brother from the South, Mr. Kaleb Stewart.
Put that in there.
Yeah, that's right. Put that in there from our script, Sweet Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray.
Boom. All right. So I wanted to get the audience to know who you are. So I guess you can explain who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a comedian. I'm a writer. What else am I? I don't know. I just dropped a song last night. ODF. It's on SoundCloud.
ODF, personal plug. All right. So what's it like being a film student today? Like, what are the struggles you face, or what are the benefits? Like, what do you enjoy and stuff? So that's a multi-layered question, but.
As a film student, I enjoy that, like, you can really do anything.
Okay.
with it. Like, it's not just like it's not like a box that you're put in, because people film literally everything.
Like, do you enjoy being a film student? Like, being, I guess, if you were growing up, you want to be a culinary student or something. Like, I would say, like your enjoyments of it. Do you like the creative aspect of it? Do you like the total, like, creative freedom that you have until you're given a budget? And it's like, no, you can't have the exploding cars. You know,
Right what you know.
that furthers the story. Or like when you have the teacher saying, why is it in the script that he has a white shirt if it doesn't mean anything? Remember that conversation in class?
I do remember.
Oh my God.
I do remember.
It was like, I'm not going to drop the teacher's name or anything because we don't want to call anyone out.
I was about to say, we're not calling nobody else.
No, because like I'm not even joking. We're not gonna call anyone out because I remember we had a.
Do it though.
No, don't do it. Don't do it because then I could get sued for defamation.
Oh, that's right.
And stuff. Okay, real world stuff, lawsuits, defamation, that type of thing. Okay, so how has like the Drexel program been at film school? Like, do you enjoy it there? Because like Kaleb is also a fellow Drexel student as well. So like, how are your feelings towards it?
I do enjoy it. I feel like we have good professors. I feel like we have good teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and just people around who care about like teaching you. They care about the material, and they care about you learning the material. So I like that.
Why pick screenwriting over any other professions?
Because I want to write the movie. Like I feel like that. Like I was looking at it from a point where like I can create what I want to create.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought. But then you get in here and you find out, oh no, the director is gonna do all this. So
Like not as much creative freedom as
Yeah.
you thought going in.
but I still get to write it. So when I write something
Mm-hmm.
that's not for me, I can keep in mind that's not for me. So they might do whatever to it. So I don't get as attached to something. When
Okay.
I'm writing that I'm like, yeah, I don't want to make this.
All right. So, as far as like genres go, do you find like comedy, because you are a stand-up comic, do you find comedy is easier for you to write other than like action, drama, thriller, horror, that type thing?
Comedy is the easiest for me to write because I don't even know. I'm just kind of.
Just who you are. It's
Yeah.
just like no one asks Eddie Murphy why he's funny. He just is.
Exactly. What was that quote? Do you ask a dolphin why it swims? No.
That'd be random.
No, you don't.
All right. So, dream goal. Like, what do you hope to accomplish as a screenwriter? Oh, I'm just saying, like Yellow Brick Road. It's just like I want to win all the Oscars, everything. So
I mean, yeah, a couple Oscars would be nice.
Mhm.
You know, I think
Put
they
it on the
like,
list.
They might be giving those to black people now.
you get a little hashtag Oscar so white.
but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, any award would be nice. But I just want to be able to like do what I want to do and be able to live off of like that.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna go to a little break right now. So we'll be back. We'll be back with more Kaleb Stewart after this. But here's a clip of him doing stand-up.
It's good to do a show in front of like people like around my age. Because now the last 2 days it was like all like it was old white people, and I was like, oh, remember MASH? Remember how I did that? You Lieutenant? Yeah. Like, oh, it's good. I can make I can't make a Naruto reference. I'm not gonna do it. I'm glad you found that funny. So yeah, how's everybody feel about the Democrat, you know what I'm saying? Democrat, the fun event that everybody's going to. Good? Yeah, good. It's a star-studded event apparently. I was watching Barack Obama. I was watching the speech like Barack, like he got bars. Like he was spitting hot fire up there. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'17". You know, when you're this tall, people like to come up to you and they like to just tell you what they would do if they were your height. You know, it's never nothing regular. It's never like, oh, yeah, I just get the Raisin Brands off the shelf at the grocery store. It's always like, oh yeah, I'd be in the NBA right now. I'd be 360 dunking. And not that you just be the tallest nigga in human resources. There's no way to be. Why would you think that? It's crazy. Like I used to play basketball as at one point in my life, and I never wanted to really like to further your career. I guess in basketball, you have to work out, you have to lift weights, and you got to run. I just wasn't by it. And like one day we were doing pull-ups and workouts one day, and I just wasn't doing them. My coach was like, to try to get me to do it, he was like, Kaleb, what would you do if you were hanging off a cliff? Why would I be hanging on? One, I'm black, and black people don't really fuck with outside like that. Two, I'm afraid of heights. You know what a cliff is? It's a height outside.
All right, thanks for watching. Well, we're back, duh. All right, so I still got right next to me is my main man, Kaleb Stewart. All right, so before we were talking about you as a screenwriter and film student, so now let's talk about you as a stand-up comic. Okay. What got you into stand-up comedy?
Well, I mean, I've been watching stand-up for most of my life, and I was watching like the Chappelle Show when it was on TV.
Great show.
So at the time, I'm 20 now. It's 2016. It was on in like 2004, 2003. So I was watching it when I was a kid, and that's like I wanted to eventually be able to do something like that.
It's a great show, like, because he was on SNL recently and he was doing all his characters in The Walking Dead. It's like, I got bubblegum. He's like, bubblegum, how many pieces do you wear? She's like, well. I'm not going to do it because it's like cursing and stuff, but all right, so
But no,
they don't have to bleep it out. Okay, so is Philadelphia a place you feel supportive of stand-up comedy? Like, are they like, do you think like it's a comedy city?
I think that like the Philadelphia comedy scene is like getting better and better, because I know that there are a lot of comedians here. There are a lot of talented comedians here actually that for whatever reason aren't as popping as some other comedians. Whatever, I don't know what the reasons are, but like I feel like they have some, like there's some outlets. There are a lot of mics in this city. They just opened up the good comedy theater. It's places like Warm Daddies. It's a lot of places that like you can go and do comedy.
All right.
Here. So I feel like they're building something up here.
Like, what challenges have you faced being a stand-up comic? Like, is it like your jokes or something, or like, cause I don't know anything about being a stand-up comic. So, what are the main challenges you face and you think or you see others facing as well?
Me personally, me being 20, there are a lot of venues at 21 and over. So I can't.
So it's an age thing.
So especially when I was like 18 and 19, trying to, now people I guess know me a little bit more now. They don't really, nobody really knows. But but it was very difficult to get into some places.
Okay.
And even now, like they card you, they won't even. I've been on a show, like on the show, and they didn't let me in.
I think that's interesting because like, why would you book someone at a venue but not let them in? It's like, cause like, I feel like if you're booking someone, I guess you would expect them not to like partake like in alcohol or something, because you know they're there to conduct business, not fool around. So like I think that's like really interesting that you mentioned that.
Exactly. And we're being honest, you don't have to go to. If I wanted to drink, I could have went anywhere. I don't gotta go to the bar.
Well, you know, underage. We are hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, of course, I don't support any.
Hypothetically speaking.
None of that.
All right. So, how do you go about writing your jokes? Like, is there like a method you go through or something? You go off like politics or something?
Well, I'm learning a lot about how I work because I'm still pretty new. I've been doing it for about a year and a half. So at first, like things would just, I'll be walking down the street or something, and things would just come to me randomly.
Okay.
But now I know how to like look for more things, and like just like if I say I was having a conversation, I'd be like, oh, that's a funny thing that I said there, and I can just work on that, and I can develop something.
All right. So how do you go about choosing your jokes for your shows? Do you go like, do you have like a booklet? You're like, okay, I'm gonna pull this one out today. Oh wait, no, that one's a little too dirty, or I'll pull this. Like, do you write to fit your audience, or do you just go in with like a preset list of jokes?
Mostly I just go in with, well, you know, you have to be aware of where you are. Of course. So if I know that I'm somewhere that would like this type of joke better, I might
pop it out.
Yeah, I might put this joke in there that I wouldn't normally do. But I mean, it depends. I change it depending on how I'm feeling, how I feel like the room, how it's going in the room. Like it's really up to
like situation by situation basis.
Situation.
Okay, so how do you get like your gigs like as a comic? There's like a specific like website or like Facebook group or like posting or something.
I need some more. The few things that I have done, people reached out to me, but I also had a show last year where it was my show, me and another comedian, and we put on the show. So mostly how I get shows is people will reach out to me.
I would say, like, real quick so we can get you on camera, how can people reach out to you if they want to book you?
How can people reach out to me?
Yep.
I'll tell you how you can reach out to me. KLink1996@gmail.com, KLINC 1996, and Scout Team Kaleb on Twitter and Instagram, and anything else you could think of.
All right, so quick last question. What's easier for you, stand-up or screenwriting?
I don't know. Screenwriting is easy. I think screenwriting is easier because when you're doing stand-up, like if I write a joke and it bombs in class when we're reading it, it doesn't matter. But if I'm standing up in front of all these people and I tell a joke and nobody's laughing, that's
It's a burn.
I was about to say.
All right, so thanks for coming on, man. Always a pleasure. Handshake. All right, we will be right back. Tight band, take it away. All right. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching as I liked hosting and producing and writing and all the stress sleeping that comes with it. Many just tossing and turning. All right, I'd like to thank my guests today, Deirdre McCullagh and Carmen Cruz, for sharing their documentary GearGirls, which is going to be out next year in 2017. Well, since you're watching 2017, it's going to come out this year. Okay. All right. So I'd also like to thank Kaleb Stewart for coming by. I'm confident that you'll be seeing more of him around town this year, so keep a lookout. Thanks to the amazing thanks to the amazing crew for getting this show off the ground. And thanks to you for watching. I'm Alex LeGrand. Have a tubular, fantastic day, or try to.
Thanks for watching High Noon with Alex LeGrand. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Hey, do you like our show? You can make your own content as well. Just go to phillycam.org to learn how.